part 2 of The Backpack by Jennifer Degenhardt. I already posted part 1 on my YouTube channel. Chapter 1 to chapter 5 is already on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The English Zone. This story is for beginner English. Chapter 5, Oscar. It's Thursday. Luis, Miguel, and I are in the van. We go to the bus station on Central Avenue in Dodge City. Dodge City is in Kansas. Is anyone from Kansas? Are you ready, Oscar? Miguel asks me. Yes. Or yeah. I have clothes, my phone, money, and my green card, I tell them. What's green card? Green card is permanent residence card issued to immigrants who have completed the process to be in the United States legally. That's the meaning of green card. The green card or permanent residence card is very important. After living in the United States for 10 years, I finally have official documents. I am now a permanent resident. Good. Good luck. See you on Saturday, Louise says to me. So, by the way, just a quick backstory. Oscar has a business. He has a painting business with his cousins. He has a van. But now he wants to go and buy a second van to expand his business because he has a lot of business and one van is not enough. So he's going to Texas to buy a new van. It's not new, but another van, a second van. I walk in the station and look for the right bus. I don't have a lot in my blue backpack. 2 shirts, underwear, and socks. And of course, a toothbrush. The trip to San Antonio is not long. Not like the trip that I made to the United States. I traveled with the same blue backpack 10 years ago. The backpack was very important to me during my trip to the United States. And now it's even more important. Why? Because it has my phone, money, and my green card. I get on the bus. I sit next to a young man. He has brown hair and brown eyes and is wearing a military uniform. Hello, he says to me. Hello, I say to him. Nice to meet you, I am Oscar. Are you going to San Antonio? Yes, my family lives there. How about you? Dave asks. I am going to San Antonio also. I am going to buy a van, I tell him. That's a long way to go to buy a van, isn't it? Dave asks me. Yeah, but they're selling it for a good price. By the way, don't you think that he is sharing too much personal information with a stranger? That's not good, by the way, especially in America. If you are talking to a stranger on a bus or on a train, do not share too much personal information. Don't share too much personal information. You see here, he says, I'm going to San Antonio to buy a van. If you say this, maybe he thinks you have money with you. And maybe he's going to rob you. I'm not saying don't trust people. You just have to be careful. Again, here, they're selling it for a good price. Bro, what are you doing? Dave asks me another question. Are you from Dodge City? No, I say with a smile. I'm originally from Colombia. I have lived in Dodge City for 10 years. Now I want to I want to ask a question to you guys. Where do you live? Where do you live? Do we have anyone from Colombia? What? That's crazy. Okiloki is from Colombia. Umjima is from Buffalo, New York. Subema Arriba. What? Brazil. Sudan, Minnesota, Bogota. So you're also from Colombia. Azerbaijan, Florida, USA. That's crazy. So we have people from all over. Dave tells me that he has a friend from Colombia. He's from Medellin, he says. I'm from Medellin too, I tell him. Dave and I talk for a long time. I talk a lot about Medellin, and he talks about San Antonio. Medellin is a big and beautiful city. Anybody from Medellin? The climate is mild. It's not hot, but not very cold. It's a modern city with universities, industry, and festivals. I really like Medellin, I say to Dave. What do you like best about the city? Dave asked me. In Medellin, there are many museums, parks, and libraries. It's a city, but life is very calm, I explain. Dave is very curious. Curious. This is the what? We have somebody from Medellin in the chat. That's crazy. Dave is very curious. Curious. This is the pronunciation. Curious. If you are curious, it means you like to know more. You like to know more. We talk a lot. I ask him about San Antonio as well. Dave, it's my first time in San Antonio. I'm going to be alone for a day. Where do you recommend I visit? Oscar, you need to visit El Alamo. It's pretty and it has a lot of history. Great. Thank you. Now I am going to rest a bit, I tell him. Sounds good. I will too. After the 10-hour trip, we finally arrive in San Antonio. Thanks for talking with me, Oscar. Thank you, Dave, I say to him. Take care. I am going to buy the van tomorrow in the afternoon. So I will... No, there's a little mistake here. I am going to a hotel for the night. So first, I'm going to a hotel for the night. Okay? Do you guys have any questions? This is where he traveled. Kansas. He traveled from Dodge City, Kansas to San Antonio, Texas. This is the map of the United States. But this is where he traveled, you see? It's a 10-hour drive, 10-hour bus ride, depending on if you're going by bus. He finally arrived in San Antonio. Next, chapter 6. We're going back to Michelle. In the FedEx truck, the air conditioning is on high. What does that mean if the AC is on high? Well, that means it's really hot in the month of August in New Mexico and Texas. So let's get a little perspective again. On the other hand, we have another person, Michelle, going from, where is he going from? Yeah, New Mexico. Michelle going from New Mexico to San Antonio. New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. I have packed bottles of water and fruit for the long trip. I'll be driving to Fort Stockton, Texas first. There, I'll use the bathroom and take a break for a bit in Pepito's Cafe. It's a casual restaurant with great Mexican food. The drive to Fort Stockton is 4 hours. I listen to music on the way. I like country music, especially music by Tim McGraw. He sings the song Humble and Kind in Spanish. What? I didn't know that. In Spanish, the song is called Nunca te olvides de amar. It's so beautiful. The trip to San Antonio is really long, but that's normal. In New Mexico and Texas, trips that are 5 or 6 hours in the car are typical. On Route 10, after leaving behind the traffic in El Paso, I then pass through many small towns: Socorro, Fort Hancock, Sierra Blanca, y Van Horn. So this is very true, by the way. In the United States, if you're driving, if something is 4 hours away, it's not really far because you just jump on the highway and you drive. Some of the towns have Spanish names because that area of the United States used to be part of Mexico. Mexico, the country of my Marcos and my daughters, Daisy and Laura, or Daisy and Laura. No, they are not my biological daughters, but they are my daughters. They should be with us here in the United States. Marcos's mother as well. She's old and taking care of 2 adolescents. In the house, she's old and taking care of 2 adolescents. Adolescent. Is that the correct pronunciation? Adolescent. What is the meaning of adolescent? Does anybody know? Yeah, adolescent. Young people, very good. They wrote though instead of through. Yeah, there's a couple of typos. There are some typos. Yeah, that's correct. I pronounced it through. Yeah. So, adolescent. She is old and taking care of 2 kids or 2 children in the house is a lot of work. The towns on Route 10 are similar to the town of Ascension, where Marco's family lives. Is anybody from Ascension in Mexico? Ascension is close to the border of the United States in the state of Chihuahua. It's not far to travel there, but in reality, it's very far away. We need to submit official documents so that we can have the girls and Marco's mom live with us. Marcos and I always talk about that. The Backpack by Jennifer Degenhardt for beginner English learners. Daisy, Laura, and your mother need to be living with us in the United States, Marcos, I tell him. Yes, Michelle, I agree. We need to find a lawyer. Lawyer. Good, then. We will call a lawyer. I say, we can't, Michelle. It costs a lot of money. That's a problem. Submitting the documents is one problem. The money is another. So, this is the problem. Thank you guys for your gifts. So, this is the problem. It can be difficult to put all your documents together and submit your immigration documents. Another problem is the money. It's not cheap. Now, let's go back to Oscar. Do you guys think Oscar and Michelle will meet? What do you think will happen in the story? Today is the day. I get to buy the van. I call Charlie's brother. Hello, Wally. It's Oscar, I say. Hello, Oscar. Are you coming to get the van? Yes. This afternoon at 5 o'clock. Is that okay? Of course. I'll wait for you at the house. Good. Thank you, Wally. I have the whole day free. I want to go to El Alamo, but first I take a walk on the Riverwalk in San Antonio. It's a well-known part of the city, especially for tourists. It's a park that also has stores, restaurants, art, and much more along the San Antonio River. It's a place where there aren't any cars. I like visiting the Riverwalk, and it's very pretty. But I also want to go to El Alamo. I walk towards the entrance. I have my backpack because I am not returning to the hotel. Yeah, that's the plan. He just stayed one night at the hotel. Now he has the backpack because he's going to buy the van and go back to Dodge City. At least that's the plan. I need to keep my backpack with me because my wallet is in it, along with my money and my green card. The green card is so important. I like this part of San Antonio. There's new construction along the Riverwalk, but there are also old structures like El Alamo. El Alamo is a museum. There I learn a lot about the battle, independence, and the history of Texas. It's interesting. After walking a few hours there, I buy a bottle of water. I am on a beach, not a beach, sorry. I am on a bench. I am on a bench. Does anybody know the meaning of bench? It's like a long chair you sit on, especially in a park usually in a park. I am on a bench outside drinking the water when I see a couple of young women. They are really pretty. They have long dark hair and green eyes. Maybe they are sisters. One of them says to me, "Hi, can you tell me where you bought the water?" "Hi, I bought it in the store," I say. "Thank you." They enter the store and return with bottles of water for them and one for me. One of the women gives me one. "Here," she says to me. "It's really hot out." "Thank you," I say back. "It sure is hot." "Are you from here? Is it always this hot?" "Yes. We're originally from San Antonio. My name is Sandra, and this is my sister, Isabel." Do we have anyone named Isabel or Sandra here? "Nice to meet you. My name is Oscar. I am not from San Antonio, obviously," I say to them, smiling. After talking for a moment, Sandra asks me, "Do you have plans for this evening? Do you want to go for a walk with us?" Okay, we have some development in the story. Sandra wants to invite Oscar for a walk. Maybe she likes him. I have an appointment at 5 o'clock. I get my backpack, take out my phone to see what time it is. But I have time. Where are we going? Our family's restaurant. We'll take you. It's great, come on. I am excited to go to the restaurant with my pretty new friends. He also likes them, pretty new friends. I am so excited that I forget about the backpack and leave it behind under the bench. Oh no,